Well, welcome back to the homestead. In our last episode, I just started building porch rails across the front of the house, and we got a ditch dug to put the underground conduit in that runs from the last utility pole to the house. And we got the conduit in and covered that back up. So since then, I've been able to come out a few times and work, but every time I've come out here, it's been pouring down rain or pitch black dark, and I haven't been able to film anything. But since that last video, we've gotten the electrical company to come back out and pull the wires through the conduit and hook up the meter base on the outside of the house. And then my friend Glenn came back and he finished terminating the wires in the breaker panels and installing all of the breakers. So we've gotten power into the house now. So after 5 years of working on this project, the biggest improvement we've gotten now since the last episode is the ability to do this. We can come in, flip a light switch, and actually have lights. All the receptacles in the house are working and everything, so it's much nicer to come out here now in the night and just come in the house, turn a light switch on, and start doing some work versus having to drag out a generator, stretch out a bunch of extension cords, try and get a drop light where I'm working and all. So hopefully that'll help move things along and I'll be able to film on a little bit more regular basis. But while we were waiting on the power company to come out and I had started installing all my porch rails, I got the porch rails down the front and two sides of the porch, and my local box store ran out of balusters. So my wife and I went out of town last weekend to visit my mom, and we stopped at another box store along the way and picked up some more balusters. So I've got all the wood for the rear porch rails in now. And before I got started on that, I had started building a platform out back to put my rear steps and ramp coming into the house. So that's really what I want to try and work on today. I want to try and get the top of that platform finished up if I have enough time. Like I said, I'm only going to be here for a couple hours. So let's go outside and I'll show you what I've started on that platform and kind of tell you how I've done everything on it and catch you up to where I am, and then we'll see if we can do any work on it. So this is the platform that we're going to use to accommodate the rear steps and the access ramp for the back of the house. It's basically a 4.5 by 9 foot platform. It's going to look identical to what the porch does. And then between these two posts here on the end, we'll have a set of steps that comes down to the yard. And then coming off of this end of it where these temporary steps are, these temporary steps will get removed and we'll put a ramp from the platform down to the ground so that you can run a dolly or a wheelchair or anything like that up to get it into the house. So the way I started this off was I dug the two holes closest to the house, and I took two 6x6s and attached a 2x10 to those, and those are the exact same distance apart as the two posts on the porch that are holding the porch roof up. So once that 2x10 was attached to the 6x6s, I set that down in the hole and I backfilled the hole with some dry concrete until the 2x10 across the back right there was level to the porch, but down the thickness of a 5/4 by 6. So once that 5/4 by 6 is laid on there, it's exact height as the porch. So once the 6x6s were in, I came back and I cut the tops of the 6x6s off, and then I attached 2x10 to that post coming out from the house on both ends. So essentially I had two 2x10s coming out this direction plus the one across the back. Then I cut another 2x10 that was the same distance or the same length as the one in the back, and I attached it to the ends of the two 2x10s in the front, which gave me a square. And of course the front was just floating up in midair. The back is attached to the 6x6s, but all of it was level. So once I had that done, then I took a measurement diagonally from corner to corner, and once the platform was adjusted until it was square, then I nailed a brace off to hold it there. And I took the 6x6s for the front and went ahead and set those in, screwed them into the corners and plumbed them and filled those holes up with concrete. And once all that was set, then the platform was ready to start putting the joist in, the floor joist. So I put the floor joist in across 16 inches on center, with the exceptions of the very end. And you can see the very end has the rim joist, and then there's a floor joist very close to that. And that's so that when I'm basically going to put like a picture frame around the platform using 5/4 by 6, and I need something for that 5/4 to rest on when it comes across the sides. So the rim joist and that first floor joist will support the outside edge of the 5/4 by 6. And once that's all done, then we can cut a bunch of 5/4 by 6 to just fill in the middle of the deck. So let's go ahead and see if we can get the rest of the outside border of this finished up, and then maybe we can get the centerpieces cut. So I'm not sure how much of that y'all were able to see because my battery died, but we've got the board on the outside cut now, and it's been notched to go around the 3 posts, and we've got the 2 ends screwed down on it. So we've basically picture framed the whole platform now. So the next thing I'm going to do is get some measurements for the center boards, go ahead and get those cut and laid down in there. Once I got the outside edge of the platform bordered with my 5/4 by 6 and all of that screwed down, I've gone ahead and I've cut the interior boards to put in there. And unfortunately, I'm 2 boards shy, so I'm going to have to pick up 2 more boards next time I'm in town. So I don't want to screw the interior boards down until I have all of them in place, so I can ensure that the gapping is even between all of them. So I'm just going to leave those boards sitting there until next time. And the next thing I want to do, since I've got a few more minutes out here, is I'm going to start working on getting the front of the platform ready to accept the stringers and putting the post down for the handrails going up the steps. So let me show you how we're going to do that. So this is a set of pre-cut treated stringers and treads that I had picked up at Lowe's. And I just put these up temporarily for the drywall guys to have something to carry the sheetrock in and out of the house on. And it turns out these are almost perfect for what I need on my rear steps. So I'm going to wind up reusing these permanently, just not in this configuration. So each one of these steps rises 6.5 inches, and I need 26 inches of rise on the back steps. So 3 steps will be perfect for what I need, and this stringer has 4 in it. So what I'll do is I'll just come in and I'll cut the bottom step off of these stringers so that they're the right height, and I'll be able to reuse them. But the step is not going to be flush with the top of the deck like it is here. I'm going to put this top step 6.5 inches down below the top of the platform, and then the stringer is 7 inches where it attaches to the rim joist. So I need to come down 6.5 inches, and then I need 7 inches below that to attach the stringer to. And my rim joist is only a 2x10. So I'm going to go ahead and attach another 2x6 below that 2x10 so that I have enough room to attach these stringers securely to the platform. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so now when I come from the top of the platform down 6.5 inches, that's where my first tread will be. And then if I come down 7 inches from that, that'll be the bottom of where the stringers are, and I'll still be hitting on the cross member here. So we should have plenty of area to attach all of our stringers now. So now that I've got that done, let's go ahead and measure out and see where we're going to wind up digging the holes for the 2 posts for the handrails. All right, so I know I'm only going to use the first 3 steps off of these stringers, and we're going to wind up cutting the bottom step off here. So that means this is going to be the finished edge of the stringers whenever I use them on the platform. So all I'm going to do is take a measurement from the house out to the end of this stringer, and that's going to be 30.5 inches. So I'll go over to the platform, we'll measure out 30.5 inches, and we'll start digging the 2 holes for the post for the handrails. Okay, so that hole actually dug a little quicker than they usually do here. I usually run into a ton of rocks and it takes me forever to get a hole dug. But I went ahead and I dug that hole down 16 inches. It's in line with the post for the porch and then the corner post for the platform. So I just put a 2x4 into the post porch and then the platform post. And that way I know that this post here is going to be perfectly in line with those. Then we put a level on it to make sure it was plumb, backfilled the hole with some concrete, and then added water to it. And once that sets up, that post will be there. So that went a little quicker than I actually thought it was. I didn't think I'd have time to set one of them today. But I did get one down. By the time I get back out here, that'll be hardened up. And the next time I'm out, I'll have enough boards to finish the platform out. We can get that screwed down. And then we can probably go ahead and get the next post done and start setting the steps pretty soon. So at any rate, that's going to be it for today. So until next time, y'all just keep checking back.